Our project was a collaborative research project between students from Virginia Tech and UDEM. The purpose of our project was to figure out the cultural and social differences between food influencers in Mexico and the United States. We were given their emails of our counterparts, and we were able to reach out to Team Mexico via Skype. We emailed them on a weekly basis and sent our assignments to each other. We received a list from Mexico of their 10 most influential influencers in their country, and we responded by sending ours. Our project has been a great collaborative effort between us and UDEM.
Hi! Oh, hi, how's it going?
Hi, thank you. You?
Great.
Good. Very good.
Okay, so I'm Isabella, he's Giancarlo, Diego, and the guy in.
When determining which promotions were good or bad, we used the following criteria: natural, branding, and food-related posts. The natural criteria was making sure that the advertisement was not out of place. This natural aspect also coincides with the branding aspect, where we want to make sure the advertisements were on brand. The last criteria was making sure that the content and the products they were promoting were also food-related. When looking through different food influencers' social media platforms, we found that the primary thing that categorizes them as a food influencer is how aesthetically pleasing their social media sites are. We found this greatly improves their brand recognition and their overall success as a food influencer. We also found that when food was the primary content, they gained more credibility as a food influencer.
When looking through different food influencers' social media platforms, we found the most negative aspect was when their social media platform that was originally used for food has become overrun by lifestyle content. Having a lifestyle content heavy profile can be beneficial if one were a lifestyle influencer, but since they're trying to be a food influencer, it is not cohesive.
Our group found this to be a bad promotional video because it looks like Tasty just posted a Magnum ad on their social channels. It is a great ad, but it does not include any of their branding and really has nothing to do with the Tasty brand. Seeing this ad would make a consumer want to buy a Magnum bar, which is misleading because Tasty does not own Magnum. This is a very out-of-place ad and a poor-placed paid advertisement.
Soy el chef Aquiles Chávez y les quiero presentar un nuevo soya juice. Es un aceite puro de soya que no tiene colesterol.
This is a great promotional advertisement because Aquiles is promoting cooking oil, which is on brand because he's a renowned chef. This advertisement makes me want to try the cooking oil because a well-known chef is using it and achieves the goal of promoting the product.
Here are some of the similarities that we noticed between our team and Team Mexico. There are a multitude of social media platforms that each influencer posted on, and both groups occasionally shared their personal experiences on those pages. With that being said, both teams' influencers promoted products, cookbooks, and their brands on their social media pages. All influencers included a combination of photos and videos on these Instagram, Twitter, and other social media accounts. Many utilize the Instagram story feature to their advantage for promoting their products or just for their personal experiences. The majority of influencers also had their own websites or blog pages.
Some of the differences we noticed between our team and Team Mexico were that the Mexico influencers were more likely to post relatable lifestyle stories on their Instagram, whereas the US influencers posted more like sponsored stories and photos from their Instagram. The US influencers also typically had a larger number of followers, and their social media accounts were focused primarily more on their brand, as well as they also had more TV-based experience, such as Food Network, and they were more well-known throughout the world.
Some positives we found while doing this project were that
We actually became friends with the students from Mexico, and it was really awesome because we actually were doing the exact same project. So we were able to communicate and talk about, if we experienced any difficulties, they were able to offer advice, vice versa. And as a group, we learned a lot about the food industry, and we realized how important social media really is while trying to be an influencer in today's world. And our favorite takeaway from this whole entire project was that we got to discover new influencers that we would have never known about while using our counterpart in Mexico.
Some of the cons we found within the project were that us and Team Mexico had some differences about what we thought food influencers were. We thought food influencers would be more the big company and the big brands because in America we feel like that they influence the food industry more. In Mexico, they went for more of the micro-influencers who were actual people who influence food, whether they were chefs or just random people who just really liked food. We also thought it was really hard to meet with Team Mexico because we had different class times, so meeting with them was a little bit hard sometimes, so we would have to meet outside of our class time and probably outside their class time as well.
Overall, we found this project was very interesting, specifically as we learned about how different food influencers use strategies to engage with their audience. Communicating with Team Mexico was challenging at first, but once we found a consistent line of communication, things began to run a lot more smoothly. We used email and Skype to communicate, and we used Google Documents as a platform to share our checkpoints. What we did with our checkpoints was use them as a guide to find out the different similarities and differences between the food influencers from Mexico and from America.